The commandos are dropped to safe distance from the facility.
Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today we're doing another reaction to some Israeli units, and today we're checking out an operation done by the Israeli Mossad and then also their Sayeret Matkal. So I guess the Mossad, I'm not too sure on the Mossad. I've heard that it's kind of like the Israeli CIA, but they also seem like they have like sort of like a special operations capability. So I'm not exactly sure where that separation is. And then the Sayeret Matkal is like a special forces unit, but this one you guys were specifically requesting. Now there's not a whole lot of videos on either of these units, understandably, but this is a pretty cool video. It's like a little documentary. It's about 19 minutes long, so nothing too crazy. And then this is Operation Orchard, which I've never even heard about, which makes a lot of sense just talking about these specific units. So yeah, we'll check it out and see what kind of operation these guys got into. So it should be pretty good. Seems like a relatively well-made video.
Deep inside this secretive communist state, a train travels through a remote northern town.
North Korea, huh? That's pretty topical.
Then, suddenly,
holy cow.
In April of 2004, there was a massive train explosion in northern North Korea.
North Korea expert.
The explosion is so enormous, it registers a magnitude 3.6, equivalent to a small earthquake.
It killed several hundred people, destroyed a town of 10,000 people, left 2,000 people wounded.
I've not heard of this at all.
According to the North Korean government, the train was carrying liquefied petroleum.
Huh.
But before anyone can discover anything more, the regime forbids further reporting on the incident.
Okay.
A week later, they banned all use of cell phones in North Korea for 5 years.
5 years, good grief.
What is going on in the rogue nuclear state?
Okay, so if you guys didn't know, I'm stationed in South Korea right now, so this is pretty topical, but I did not know this happened at all. I was not familiar with this. I mean, I think I was old enough to have understood or at least remember it if I saw it on the news, but I don't remember this at all.
5,000 miles away, one nation is
there it is, Israel.
The incident with great interest.
Huh. Good old Tel Aviv. It's a pretty nice city, I gotta say.
Mayor Dagan is Israel's top spy, the chief of the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad.
Mayor Dagan was a legendary figure in the Israeli security establishment. He had a reputation for being very brutal in what he was prepared to do in pursuit of Israel's national security interests.
So anything could happen at this point.
Secretly is nothing new. But what intrigues Dagan are intelligence reports that a Syrian aircraft has now landed in North Korea.
Huh.
Contact between North Korea and the Arab world is unusual and highly concerning to Israel.
And that was
yeah, I would imagine North Korea generally only talks with like China and maybe like Russia. I'm not exactly sure on like the whole politics, but I don't think anyone's generally too friendly with North Korea. Again, I'm not like that North Korea expert that they showed earlier, so the whole geopolitical landscape I'm not too savvy on, so take everything I say with a grain of salt.
When the Israelis started to take a closer interest in what was going on.
The plane is supposed to be delivering aid, but instead, it seems it is being loaded with the bodies of victims of the crash.
Good grief.
And the bodies are being transported in lead-lined coffins and are carried by men wearing chemical weapon suits.
So they're like, it's like radiological or something?
This is extremely strange.
Huh.
Then Dagan is informed that the bodies in the lead coffins are not North Koreans, but Syrian scientists.
There were 12 Syrian scientists from something called the Syrian Scientific Research Center.
So they're
covert military research and acquisition center.
So they're alive, I guess?
It raises a terrifying possibility for Dagan. Could North Korea be helping Syria to build a nuclear weapon?
Yeah, I'd be stressing if I was that guy too.
It becomes a top priority for Mossad and will eventually lead to one of the most extraordinary black ops of all time.
Okay, I'm excited. Once you start talking about black ops operations, it gets really interesting.
A woman walks into a London hotel bar.
Okay, is this a joke?
Her arrival is noticed by a man who's been drinking alone.
Where's the punchline at?
But this is no innocent meeting. The man is a high-ranking Syrian nuclear official traveling to London alone.
Okay.
He comes to London.
Not a very funny joke.
In a posh hotel. He has a meeting tomorrow morning in London, but he has the night or the evening to spend.
Okay.
He goes to the bar of the hotel, and extremely happy that in the bar he meets a woman with a wonderful character.
But what the Syrian
I think I see what's going on.
Is that he is under surveillance.
Yeah, nice. Huh.
Mossad had been alerted to the Syrian's visit when he checked into a hotel under a false name.
The Israelis dispatched.
Yeah, so I'll say, like, whenever I was deployed, even like, especially in like Romania, we had briefs and stuff from like the counterintelligence guys, and they would always talk about like, hey, if someone comes up to you like completely out of normal, especially if you're like a, you know, if you're like a 4 out of 10 and then some lady comes over and she's like a 9 out of 10, might be a little bit suspicious. So that's what it's just reminding me of.
Teams of people to monitor him.
Unaware he is being watched, the Syrian continues to flirt with the woman.
And she's also impressed by him. He orders another drink and another drink, and he's confident that he has a wonderful way of spending the night.
Big spender over here.
But he is also unaware that the woman is not as she seems.
He doesn't know that
Nice.
this woman is a part of the Mossad crew, and she was there to keep him busy while her team is breaking into his hotel.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah, there's some real black ops in operations right now.
The Mossad agents are members of the Neviot unit, experts in covert bugging.
The team specialized in breaking into hotel rooms.
It takes just seconds for the Neviot team to override the hotel room security.
I don't know what's going on, but it looks really cool. Huh.
Once inside, they realize they have hit the jackpot. The Syrian official has left his laptop completely unguarded. Immediately, they go to work.
The Mossad was able to break in, get its hands on the laptop computer, and copy its contents off the hard drive.
This is some James Bond
The agents
shit.
transfer the entire contents of the computer hard drive to Mossad HQ in Tel Aviv instantaneously.
That's pretty fancy.
They took all the information from the computer,
And this
then
is
they put devices on the computer to monitor any future activity from that computer.
this is like 2006 stuff here. So pretty old computer
As they
tech.
leave the room, the female Mossad agent abandons the unsuspecting Syrian.
Huh. Guess he struck out.
Within 15 Dagan and his analysts are looking at the files in Tel Aviv.
In 15 minutes.
What they
Jeez.
found on his computer was really rather extraordinary.
On one folder, they found JPEGs that looked very odd.
Okay.
Appearing on the screens in front of Dagan are hundreds of photos documenting the construction of a large industrial facility.
It was
Man, I feel like
an unknown facility.
again, I'm not like too savvy on all this, but I feel like they really just hit the jackpot. Like they go and get one guy's laptop and all of a sudden they're able to link all this stuff together. So pretty cool stuff. Again, I'm not exactly sure how all this, you know, like intermingles. Of course, I know with like special forces, special operations, they have specialized intelligence people just to assist with their operations and get the most up-to-date information. But like operations like this are pretty exciting when you get to learn about all the stuff that leads up to it.
A huge one.
The building they saw was quite large, 130 feet by 130 feet by 70 feet
That's not that big.
tall.
Okay, 70 feet tall is
Initially,
kind
the
of
building
big.
resembles a treehouse on stilts with pipes leading to a pumping station.
Okay.
Later photos show modifications. And
Looking pretty
eventually,
sus.
The entire complex is hidden beneath a huge roof.
That's pretty
Initially,
sus.
Dagon is unsure of what the facility might be. But then, it begins to dawn on him what the images are showing.
Uh-oh.
He sees large industrial equipment inside the facility.
So like a nuclear silo or
It is an
something?
exact replica of something Dagon has seen before in intelligence images from North Korea.
They showed that it was almost an exact replica of the Yongbyon nuclear weapons facility in North Korea.
Ah, so they're literally just making like a carbon copy of
It was
it?
exactly the same reactor.
Huh.
The two were perfectly matched.
Or is it actually just the same?
Dagon has no doubt as to what they have uncovered.
The evidence was overwhelming.
North Korea was building a nuclear reactor in Syria.
The
Oh.
potential for a nuclear weapons program in Syria is a direct threat to Israel's national security, and one that would have to be neutralized
True.
immediately.
Yeah, so I know geographically speaking, you have Israel, and then you have Egypt on the west side, and then you have Syria and Jordan on the east side. So it makes a lot of sense. I wasn't even considering like Israel's relation to Syria, at least geographically speaking, but it makes a lot of sense that they'd be really concerned about what Syria is doing just based off of the location. Okay, this is a pretty nice documentary.
Analysts for the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad have uncovered information indicating that Syria, with the help of North Korea, is in the process of developing a nuclear weapons program. Further evidence from the confiscated laptop of a Syrian nuclear official confirms their greatest fear.
Jeez, just
There
one
were
laptop.
blueprints of the nuclear power plant. There were pictures of the nuclear power plant.
The Israelis even had photographs of Syrians and North Korean nuclear experts together.
Wow, that's
It
pretty
is Israel's
damning.
nightmare scenario. A hostile nuclear power on its own doorstep.
Whoever is building this has only one purpose: to build, to assemble a nuclear bomb.
That's some scary stuff right there.
Dagon is now certain there is a nuclear weapons program in Syria.
Is this, what is this? Is this the Mossad building that they were showing earlier? Because I've been to Tel Aviv and it's pretty nice because it's like situated right on like the Mediterranean Sea. So, I mean, I wasn't looking for anything crazy like this, but if I saw a building like that, I'd be like, all right, something's going on there.
But he has no idea where it is. Intent on finding out, he orders Israeli satellites to monitor potential sites.
Okay. Then they have a lot of like resources.
Eventually, they close in on a remote area of Syria called Al-Kabar, where some highly unusual communications have been monitored.
They intercepted a very unusual spike of telephone communications from this location at
the heck?
Al-Kabar, which is in the middle of nowhere in the desert.
They can
to
just pick up-
Pyongyang, North Korea.
They're just picking up the phone
It
calls?
was
That's
very
crazy.
far from the capital Damascus. It was in a remote part of northeastern Syria, but not far from the Euphrates River and the border with Iraq.
Okay.
Israeli satellites now pinpoint a large building at Al-Kabar.
Jeez, all
When
the
they
resources,
compare them with the
dude.
stolen images from the Syrian laptop, it is a perfect match.
Wow.
Al-Kabar has to be the site of Syria's nuclear weapons program.
I wonder how long it took for them to find that.
Armed with the intel on the Syrian facility, Dagon goes to see the Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert.
Oh, snap.
Mayor Dagon came to see Prime Minister Olmert and told him this dramatic news that Syria is in an advanced stage of developing nuclear weapons.
Oh, it's about to get
The
heated,
Israeli
huh?
Prime Minister immediately recognizes the seriousness of the threat.
Olmert said one thing right at the start, and that was the Syrian nuclear weapons program is simply intolerable for Israel. It cannot be permitted this is an existential threat to Israel. This reactor has to go away.
So I wonder if they're going to do like a
The
special
only way
forces
to be
strike
rid
on
of
it.
The nuclear weapons program is to blow up the reactor.
Oh,
But first, he has a series of questions. for
sounding
David.
promising.
Most importantly, how far advanced is the reactor? If it is already operational, then a bombing could cause a catastrophe.
Okay, so I see what they're doing right now. They're trying to like game plan to see what they should be doing, but I wonder how long it actually took for them to like get that laptop and then, you know, intercept those phone calls or whatever and then find the actual place. I wonder how much time actually, you know, was spent in between.
If the reactor is already active, then full destruction of the reactor might cause an enormous environmental pollution.
Oh, true. That's very true.
But Dagon
this is
doesn't know yet if the reactor is fully operational.
Huh.
The JPEGs were 15 months old, so this facility must be more advanced.
Oh,
They
okay.
desperately need to find out how advanced the construction is. That
Yeah.
means doing something extremely risky.
15
Sending
months
someone in
is a lot
to
of time.
Take a look.
The next step would have to be risking the lives of operatives.
Dang, that's pretty
Has
deep in
only
Syria,
one group
too.
of men capable of operating undetected hundreds of miles within enemy territory. So he calls upon Israel's elite Black Ops unit.
Hell yeah.
In English, they are known as the unit.
The unit. It's a good TV show.
They are the Sayeret Matkal.
Sayeret Matkal is the highest elite commando unit of the Israeli army.
Probably why you guys are recommending them so much.
Sayeret Matkal in Israel is nothing short of legendary or mythical. It's essentially the top unit in the army. Their
Oh,
job
yeah.
is to go on special operations that are considered beyond the scope of your regular troops.
It's a unit modeled after the British SAS. SEAL teams are similar
course.
to it. Delta Force is similar to it.
Okay. Everything modeled
Some of
after
the
the
most highly
SAS.
trained units in the world.
Yeah, good information. And some cool footage,
The
too.
Sayeret Matkal has one particular specialty: operating covertly behind enemy lines.
The expertise of Sayeret Matkal is to infiltrate enemy countries in silent intelligence gathering operations.
That's pretty scary.
They've gone into Jordan, they've gone into Lebanon, they've done missions in and out of these countries undetected.
Oh, snap. Okay, so now it's 2007, so about a year later, I guess.
Never officially confirmed, it is believed that on an overcast summer night, the selected commandos prepared to set out on their mission.
That's pretty quick timing, I gotta say.
They head deep behind enemy lines to confirm the existence of the Syrian nuclear weapons program.
The Israelis have been very secretive about how they got there, but certainly they are very adept at using low-flying, almost silent helicopters.
Huh. Kind of looks like a
It's
CH-53.
understood they boarded two Sikorsky CH-53 C-style helicopters. to
Wait,
travel
what?
At low altitude.
They're saying those things are quiet. Okay, I gotta say, unless those are like specialized CH-53s, those things are extremely loud. And they're huge. Like, okay, I'll put like a clip in right here, just so you guys can see how massive they actually are. So I don't know if it's the best for those operations, but I guess it
and
worked.
crossed the border into Syria.
Cool footage. Is this all
The
like,
commandos are
I guess
dropped
it's all
a safe
remade.
distance from the facility.
I love the night
Israelis
vision looks
were able to
too.
get on the ground within about a mile of this mystery building in northeastern Syria.
That's pretty close.
As the commandos set off, they know that no matter what, the Syrians must not be alerted to their presence.
They just flew all the way over there?
Once the helicopters are gone, if the Syrians discover them, there is no chance of being rescued.
Yeah, and that's a big political thing too.
But that was an extremely risky intel gathering mission. If there was a mistake made and they were compromised, that could have been war.
Yeah. For real. Oh snap.
The Sayeret Matkal commandos come within feet of the Al-Kabar facility and immediately start intelligence gathering.
Oh, it looks like it's pretty operational.
The unit did the intel collection on the ground, right at the site. That was extremely dangerous.
So I wonder if they have radios or if they're just taking like pictures and notes.
Collecting soil and water samples from around the facility is the most important element of the mission.
Huh.
It is the only way Israel can find out for sure if the reactor is operational.
See, coming from like my infantry brain, that's like the last thing I would have done. Just be like, okay, send me over there. I'll take pictures. I'll even do a drawing if you want me to. But soil samples and stuff, that's pretty advanced.
If the reactor is active, then a very small portion, not lethal, but very, very small portion of radioactive substance would be found in the water.
Once the intel collection is complete, the commandos hide their tracks and prepare to depart.
Wow, that's it, huh? Oh man, the
almost caught.
pucker factor right there.
They left the scene in the very last minute.
The commandos remain undetected, and with the mission complete, they return to Israel with the soil and water samples.
Wow.
The
Pretty
results of
successful
those
mission, I
samples
guess.
will soon set into motion a series of even more dangerous, covert missions into Syria.
Oh snap. All right, that was really, really cool. That's a really good documentary. So, of course, I'll put the original video down in the description for y'all to check out. But that was really awesome. I'd like to see the next part of this. I'm not sure if we have it available on this channel, but that was really cool. Again, I do hope you guys enjoyed it. That was really interesting to hear about. We learned a lot about these specific units. And, again, it's really cool to see, like, even back in, like, 2006, it seemed like they were pretty advanced, especially going in and, like, learning how to, they get this laptop, and then they plan off of that, and then within like a year, they have people going in collecting soil samples. So pretty advanced stuff. Really cool to check out. So again, we got to see a little bit about the Sayeret Matkal, but not too much. But I guess that'll have to do. There's not a whole lot of videos on YouTube, understandably, about these guys. But that was a really cool operation to hear about. I mean, it just seemed like so easy. It's like, yeah, of course, they almost got spotted, but it seemed like they did a pretty good job, especially inserting with CH-53s. I mean, even like a mile away, those things are going to be super loud. So, all right, that was an awesome video. I do hope you guys appreciated it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. If there's any other cool operations you'd like to share about these specific units, I'd love to check it out. I might not do a reaction since I already did a reaction to these units, but yeah, I might check it out. And if it's really cool, I might do a reaction as well. So I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for this awesome recommendation. I actually found this one. It was like one of the first recommendations when you search Sayeret Matkal, and if you guys want to go check it out. There's not a whole lot of videos otherwise, but this was a pretty good one. So I do hope you guys appreciated the video. Thank you for watching. Consider liking and commenting and subscribing, of course. I appreciate y'all. That is it for this video. So I will see y'all in the next one.